I don't know. They have to have locks on the school, or else we just gonna be walking in and out. But I don't know. I don't like having all these security and these police around here in the school.
How does it make you feel?
It make me feel like if I'm a president or something. We got all these kind of cops and securities and patrolling. Like if we on lockdown or something, like this the E Block, and we in Central or something, or Wayside. And we having this feeling like we contained in the school. Like we can't do nothing. We got police breathing down our back. We got securities breathing down our back. Principals and deans and all that.
And to the security, stop picking up these kids for small infractions and not penalizing them for things that are substantial and that they should be disciplined about. They pick up the kids for, being late to school when they know they live in a group home. They know the kid's struggling and it might be a problem with the shuttle or their parents, as opposed to picking them up and disciplining them when they maybe hit somebody. Especially the special education students, the students at home know that these kids can have additional chances to mess up, whether it be in a behavioral sense.
What do you think they can do to change special education?
They can, basically they can test the student by putting them in a general environment and testing them out, seeing how well they do. And if they're not good enough in that environment, then put them back in the special ed.
I believe that our goal should always be to empower and enable our children to be a part of the mainstream. That should be our goal, and obviously that goal is not reachable with every child that we serve. But I believe we should be giving those kids that shot.
Understanding that special education is a service. It's just a service. And it's a service, and it should be a fluid service in which there's constant monitoring and a push to mainstream them in any way that they can, to try to normalize that general ed student who has been labeled special ed because they're general ed students first, and then they receive a special education service.
I think that students have an idea of what they want, and they have an idea of what's good. They're not necessarily not all of the students are buying into the stereotypes. A lot of them want to move away. A lot of them want to know more information and are just looking for staff to mentor them. I think if we get a really good active core group of students that can motivate the staff to move forward, I think it will help. We've got some good ones right now that are working with the program, the VIPS program I mentioned before with UCLA, but their goal is to say, hey, you know what, we can move forward in school. We can go to a UC if we want to. We always push that you will go to a four-year college. It's not about going to the four-year as opposed to having options behind high school, after high school. And we've got a group of students that are willing to do that. We just got to support them, and they're looking for mentors to help them with it. I think once that happens, that will continue on, and that'll be a good program.
This project grew out of a quantitative study that I did with students on achievement and motivation factors, testing for things like tracking, social capital, and literacy. And one of the things that I found that was one of the most shocking things that I found, and a quote that I actually added to the paper, is that when I actually went to give the survey, in the honors class, the kids took 27 minutes. At the end of the 27 minutes, or somewhere into the 27 minutes, I looked at the teacher, and the teacher goes, these kids are really smart. They actually think deeper than other kids at the school, other kids anywhere. I kind of looked away, thought about it, felt like that was inappropriate, but just kind of let it go. Then I went to the general education class. 15 minutes into the survey, the teacher looks at me and responds, well, maybe you need to read the test to the kids. Okay, also annoyed by this comment, but I just kind of write my notes and move on. I'm supposed to be impartial. Then I go to the AP class, the honors class, and the teacher's giving the survey, and the kids take about 20 minutes, which is the amount of time that I like kind of rationed out for them. And the teacher looks at me and goes, yeah, these kids are very inquisitive because they're being kind of loud, aggressive, asking a lot of questions, even though they're filling out the survey. The teacher goes, yeah, they're inquisitive, so I like this class, they're really energetic, etc. Now I'm in the special education class giving the exact same survey. About 15, 17 minutes into the survey, the teacher looks over, the kids are kind of asking questions, being kind of loud, but they're still doing the work, and the teacher responds to the kids, just be quiet, do your work, stop asking so many questions. Now, there are things that could be other mitigating factors that could affect this whole situation. One, the honors class was early in the morning versus the AP class was right after lunch versus the special education class was right after lunch. So you could say that some of these other factors maybe play a role in how one class is docile versus one class is interactive and energetic, one class is questioning, one class takes longer than the other, etc. But the key thing to me is not how the kids reacted, it's the teachers' responses. And at the end of the day, the teachers are solidifying a particular culture at school of elitism. The AP kids now walk around feeling like they're better than other kids. And the special ed kids walk around feeling low, like they're worthless and they have nothing to contribute. And on some level, that mental effect, the emotional effect that low self-esteem has on the kids takes a huge toll on their actual ability to process information. So they can't even think about a predicate or a preposition because they're dealing with extraordinary issues at home, on top of feeling like their teacher and the entire environment is calling for their failure. And so that's something that I think we all need to address. Like on what level are we pushing kids into a box that they're not going to be able to get out of?